Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today well, it's a little bit late for me. Normally I do this a little bit earlier, so it's kind of a spur of the moment, like I always do. But today's video is going to be me playing some Bruce Lee on the Commodore 64. And I actually did a video on this game a while ago, and I thought, this would be a fun one to actually do a live play on, because it does have quite a few levels to it. There's a lot going on. It's not one of those, simple, quick games. So, it'd be good for a live play. So I decided to actually, do it today, like I always do. So let me just make sure I got all set up here in my system here. So I have to start it. Yes, unfortunately, I'm still using emulators. It's only because I don't have a capture card. If I had a capture card, I'd be able to actually use my real Commodore, hook it all up to the computer and all that stuff, but I mean, this is just so far easier. I mean, to me it's the same game. Just like I remember it. So I'm just going to get this going. Just going to take a few minutes. I wasn't sure if I'd be doing a live stream today. It was kind of like, I don't know, I was thinking maybe I'll give it a break, and, I was working on some videos to put onto my channel, and, I'm also in the middle of a bunch of other games, so I'm in the middle of, like, Zelda 2, which I've done a couple of live streams on already. So I thought maybe I'll take a break from that. So everything is just seeing how things go and what I have time to do. But this one, I thought this would be fun. It's kind of a change of pace. It's a Commodore 64 game. I was trying to think of a Nintendo game to do, but I couldn't think of one at the moment. One that I actually felt like playing anyways. So I decided to stick with this. So, I mean, it's an emulator, and it gives you these options. I never had these options on the Commodore 64, so they must have put these into the emulator. Because I don't remember ever having an option to have unlimited lives. And opponents can't hit you, which is stupid. Why would you want to play that way? I guess if you're really dying to see what the ending looks like. So this gives you the option. Do you want one player or two players? I definitely want to do one player because I don't have a two-player option at this point. And then you can say you want the computer versus the opponent, which again, kind of pointless. So let's just get on with the game. So I kind of went over a little bit of this on my video before about how this game works. Again, I'm not really sure if this is following any of the Bruce Lee movies or not. I know this is on a bunch of other systems. It's not only exclusive to the Commodore 64, but this was the version that I played the most. Right off the bat, I can't get over the fact that Bruce Lee kind of runs like a chicken. If you look at him running, he looks like he's like, I don't know. It's like he's an old man. He just all of a sudden has back problems and he has to run with holding his back like, oh my back, oh my back. I don't know. It's just me. I don't know. And then you got these weird enemies. So you got this green sumo wrestler who's he kind of looks like a sumo, but he's green. So he kind of looks like the Incredible Hulk, and he's got that bun on his head. And then you got this black ninja, which is pretty useless. I mean, he pretty much one kick and he's down. The green sumo's a little tougher. See, he actually kicked me there. So you do have that. You have your punching and you have your kicking. That's pretty much it. Of course, ducking. Ducking doesn't look like much. It looks like you just got run over by a car. Like, and duck. Squish. And he kicked me enough that he killed me. So if you look in the top right corner there, you see Falls 3. That's how many lives I have before it's over. So I kind of lost one life already. I don't know. Maybe it's not a good idea to keep going at this point to already have lost a life. Maybe just me yapping too much. So let's just do a quick soft reset. Start again. Just so we can start off and new. Might take a minute, but let's just do it. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. So we have to start. Now in this, like a Commodore keyboard actually has a button called Run Stop, but when you're using the emulator, it's your escape button. So just in case you ever download the Commodore or a Commodore, I'm using the Vice 64 emulator. There's a bunch of other ones, but in this one, the escape button is the Run Stop button. If you're familiar with the Commodore, you would know what I'm talking about. There was a Run Stop and there was a Restore. Those were almost like pretty much your Control-Alt-Delete buttons. If you're familiar with computers today. Whenever a game would crash, that would get you out of it. So let's do this. Okay. Oops. Now, one of the tricky things about this game that you have to always keep in mind is in a lot of video games today especially, the jump button is usually a button on the controller. And we learned this from the days of, say, Super Mario. Oh, he keeps kicking me. Where you have your jump button and you have your run button. Now in this game, because the Commodore 64 was kind of like with the Atari 2600, it only had a joystick with one button. So the jump is actually pushing up on the D-pad. There is some Nintendo games that also follow that format, but it's not as popular. I mean, typically in your, like if you're playing Nintendo, you got the two buttons. One will be the jump and one will be the run, or some other function. Of course, if you get into like Super Nintendo and anything beyond that, you got like 4 buttons, and then you got like, I don't know, moving on to 100 buttons. Now the other thing that's weird about this game is the enemies will just stand there until they become in contact with you. So now they see me, then they fall, and now they're going to sit there like a bunch of dopes and do nothing. Yep. Just give me a second here. I just want to make sure that I'm still streaming. Okay. I always like to check that because I don't have a dual monitor setup, so it's kind of awkward for me to have to switch between what I'm looking at and what is actually streaming. Something I have to look into is getting a second monitor so I can view things like the streaming itself, the chat box. Like I kind of got the chat box on the side here. So if you're in the chat, feel free to say hello. Oh, he's just sitting there. So I'm going to jump on his head. Jump on his head again. I don't know if that actually hurts him though. Good thing about this game is sometimes you can trap them down there. You see how they're both down there now? They're not going to come after me because they won't jump up. They're just going to be waiting for me. So when I jump down now, I have to get... These things are like lanterns or something. You have to like get them all to get out of the level. So you'll see all the lanterns in there. So you see I've got all the lanterns on this, but I can't go any further. I have to go back. Oops. That wasn't good. So I have to go backwards, so I'm going to run this way. And if you looked on the bottom there, you see that little thing opened up. So now I can go down there. So before, when I was in this level, it was closed. And this takes me into this kind of like secondary stage. Like I would say this is one of the very few games I had on the Commodore that kind of had this platform style to it. So the trick with these guys is you have to kick before they do. Otherwise you will kick at the exact same time and uh-oh. And that will happen. Oh no. So hitting that beam is instant death. You don't have a choice. You're pretty much dead. This is tricky. So when I jump, I have to make sure I either jump over to the exact side of it, because sometimes you might hit the lantern and then fall down, and you lose your timing. If you hit those things going across, you're dead. Whoa. Uh-oh. Let him fall and die. Oh no, he didn't die. I just threw a thorn in my plan. Alright. Unfortunately, with this game, there's no health meter. So, unless you're counting the amount of hits you're getting, you don't know when your next hit is going to actually kill you. Whoa. Okay, now on this level, so you notice there's one lantern on the right side, one lantern on the left side. So getting the lantern on the right side doesn't really help you because it just drops you down into that area where you have to climb up again. But you'll see that they actually turn black, and when they turn black you can't actually grab them. So it only makes sense to go to this side, wait till it turns white, and then you can grab it and jump. The other side doesn't really do much. It just kind of drops you down and then you have to go back up again. Kind of a waste of time actually. So this is hard, because you see there's a beam going at the bottom there. And you almost have to time it, that when you drop, you're not going to have that beam hit you. Another interesting level. I can kick these guys into those explosive, whatever these things are. Wait till they cross it and kick them. They usually will materialize on the level down from you. Where's the green sumo? He's not showing up. There he is. So here's interesting too, because these things will hurt you. So if I run over it, it will actually explode. So you got to be careful. Whoops. Like that. You got to be careful. Again, this is all about timing because you don't want to hit those beams like the ninja just did. You want to kick him into there. And you have to be careful because they can also kick you into the explosive thingamabob. So this level is all about knowing where you can... I'm gonna die. I'm gonna land on those knives. I'm dead. This level is all about knowing where you can jump. So I only have one life left, which is not a good thing because there's still quite a few levels to go. Oh no. Okay. I don't know if I can get through this. I wasn't fast enough. Now I believe with these things, they kind of go on different speeds. Oh. Is this my last man? Yeah. Oh. That's a bad score. We're gonna have to go again. So let's just begin the game. Just gonna punch him. Most of these are pretty quick. You just run through the level, grab them all, and get out. In fact, I don't know if you have to get this one right away, because you could probably go over to the next level, get those ones first, then come back. Because you can see at the bottom there, that's where the thing is closed. right in the middle. Uh-oh. He'll run right over top of me and just fall down like an idiot. There we go. Normally you just jump on them and then jump up. Okay, let me just take a quick peek. Perfect. I'm always nervous about my streaming because I know I've had times where my streaming just kind of, oops, went the wrong way. No! That's not good. So I've taken a lot of hits, so chances are if I get hit again, I'm going down. You die. Crap. He didn't die. Okay, he did. He might materialize. It's a good thing though, you land on their head, you kind of hurt them. Alright, we have Dozer Bed on the chat right now. How's it going? As you can see, I decided to play a little bit, whoops. Crap. Decided to play a little bit of Bruce Lee. This is on the Commodore 64, or the Commodore 64 version, I should say. I mean, technically I'm not on a Commodore 64. This is my computer, but it's a emulator. I do have this on the Commodore 64, and I've actually done a video on this game before. Using the actual version, I think I used the actual. To go back now and rewatch that video. I can't remember if I used an emulator or not. So we're gonna try and get down there. Jacob Downey just joined the chat. Thumbs up, how's it going? Again, you know, I'm taking another break from Zelda. I've been playing a lot of Zelda games. A fine choice, my gentle fellow. Yeah. Well, I wanted to take a break, because, you know, I've been playing a lot of Zelda. Too much Zelda. I mean, I'm in the middle of, well, I completed Zelda 1. I'm in the middle of Zelda 2. I'm still playing Link to the Past on my Super Nintendo. In fact, I was playing that earlier today. I'm kind of halfway through it. And I still want to do another live stream of Zelda 1 on the second quest, because I think that will be fun. I've only completed it, I think, once in my life, so it'll be fun that, you know, now that I've completed Zelda, to go on to the second quest. But in the meantime, I still like to break it up and play some odd games here and there. I thought Bruce Lee's a pretty interesting game for the Commodore 64. And you know, when I played it during my, the actual video that I did of this game, oops, I didn't complete it. I got pretty far though. Just didn't complete it, so I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. This game does take a heck of a lot of patience. Just getting used to the way it works. No, come on. There we go. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, the jumping is the up button, which can throw you off a lot when you're trying to do things like dodge, like run and jump. You almost get that natural feel to want to hit the button. and that's not going to do it for you on this game. Like, hitting a button is not going to do nothing. So you can see now, like, whatever these things are I'm climbing up, they go from fast to slow. So you kind of got to watch them. So when they start going fast, you almost don't have a hope in heck that you're going to get across in time and just get sucked into some kind of blade or something. Ooh. Yeah, Jacob Downey saying that the second mission in Zelda 1 is worth it because the special items are in different locations on the... Yeah, they do. They kind of mix things around and... Ooh, where am I going? I don't need to go up. I need to wait till it goes down. How's that going to happen? Come on, go down, go down. There we go. Yeah, I still remember when I first completed Zelda after I bought it, and I didn't know that there was a second quest. I mean, I knew there was a second quest for Super Mario Brothers. I didn't know there was a second quest for Zelda. So when I actually completed it, and they said that there was a second quest, I was completely blown away. I was like, really? Like, seriously? Like, actually a second quest? And to like find out that everything was changed, and I mean, some of the stuff is the same. Some of the places are the same. The fairies are in the same place, I believe. You know, some of the little things they kept the same, but you know, where all the dungeons were, the labyrinths, and I was blown away by that. In fact, when I remember when I completed it, I was like, is there going to be a third quest? And I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't, but I kind of understood that at the same time. Like, I'm sure it took a lot of programming to make the second quest, so to actually have a third quest would just be a little bit crazy. And then same with when I completed A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo, I kind of wondered, would there be a second quest? But then I realized, you know, that's kind of asking a lot. I mean, the Link to the Past is quite a big game, so for them to create a secondary quest out of that would be pretty insane. Like, it would require a whole lot of different programming. It would almost be like two completely different games. Like with Zelda 1, all they had to do was kind of shuffle things around. They wouldn't be able to do that with Link to the Past. It's too big. There's too much going on. Too much of a story. Although I do what was that he's saying? I got cute and named my character Zelda, which in the cheat to skip to the second. Yeah, that's true. You can skip to it, your character Zelda, and you will start off automatically on the second quest. And I actually did that before because, you know, once I completed it, if you don't keep your game or if you overwrite your game, you have to complete it again just to get to that ability to play the second quest. So you can actually just call your character Zelda. In fact, that's not unique with Nintendo. Things like Castlevania, you can put in a code and you can start off and right away go fight Dracula. Or, sorry, Castlevania 2. And with Kid Icarus, you can put in a code for Kid Icarus and start off with like pretty much everything and just go right after Medusa, which is pretty cool. So on this level, you're kind of doing the same thing, but these things are like somewhat lantern-y things. I don't know. Kind of weird. Oh, I was going to say, too, I did mention a fellow YouTuber, goes by the name of Nate. I think he's Retro Gaming Dev. That's his name. And he just did a video not too long ago, I think like a video or two ago, talking about there's a software that he was able to install and manipulate his Zelda ROM to pretty much mix everything around, and it was called Zelda Randomizer. Randomizer. Kind of a hard word to say there. And what it would do is it would allow you to pretty much customize your Zelda game on your emulator, and it will change things around. So it moves all the items around. It pretty much, it doesn't change the board, unfortunately, so it's the same map. But when I was watching him play, it was weird things like in the beginning, when the old man tells you it's dangerous to go alone, take this, you had a choice of the sword or the blue candle. Now I think because it's random, it's not always going to run that way, but it was just kind of interesting to see that. And then when he went into some of the different rooms, it was like, you know, it was the 5th labyrinth, where normally it would just be a store. He didn't know where any of the labyrinths were, actually. They were all hidden. Things like the area where you can go over with the bridge, and you would get like a heart or something, and it had the master key instead. Now that's a free man, so I just grabbed that thing. I don't know if it's true in this one, in the emulator, but I know in my version on the Commodore, you can keep going back, you see? And keep getting free men. And this was a trick that I used to do a lot, and it would go for quite a while before it would stop showing up. And I think that this was like a bug or something. Like, I don't think this is natural. Like, I don't think that thing is supposed to keep appearing. I think you're just supposed to get it once. Like, here is a free man. How's it going, Geeky Zombie King? Thanks for joining. See, now it disappeared. And you see, I remember this actually lasting longer than that, so I think it might be different per game. See, it's not appearing anymore. And I kind of remember going back and forth and actually getting a whole ton of like free men from doing that. It's one of those little tricks that I think I just discovered it by accident or something. So in this, you got these 3 little portals. You got to go up into each one. Whoa. Crap. I just love it when they run into that thing by themselves. You can just sit here all day long and just keep kicking these guys in there. That's one thing too about this game, is there's no real timer on it. So you could like play around with these guys for as long as you want. Just keep like sucker punching them into the flames. Nothing will ever happen. You don't run out of time. So obviously that didn't take me anywhere, so I'm going to go into the 3rd one here. It's almost like you're going into different doors. So this looks promising. It's going to take me somewhere else. Oh yes, this one. I hate this. I really hate this. It's like you gotta be exact with your jumps. Because if you touch those little white things that look like quotation marks, like that, you die. Well, Geeky Zombie King is asking, is this game from the original floppy? Technically, the one I'm playing right now is an emulator, but I do have this on a floppy. And in fact, I think when I did my video, I did a video on this game before, and I think I might have used actually my real Commodore 64. It's just for live streaming purposes. I'm kind of stuck with emulators right now. And to be fair, the floppy I have is also a copy. It's, you know, if you grew up during the Commodore 64 days, or the old computer days, most of the time the games you had were copies. Cracked copies from friends or people you knew who would just, like, you know, buy a box of blank discs and just copy all their games over. It was a common thing back then. To, like, just be like, you know, what games you have, and write out a list of all your games and then check them all off. Say, I want this one and that one, and how does this work? Okay, I think I remember this one. So already, I've gotten further than I did on my original video of this game, so let's hope I can keep going. Now, I know this one's tricky, because you have to watch these things that are kind of flying through the screen. You have to time it right, and I believe you have to duck. When I get to the top here, I have to duck. And I reiterate, when this guy ducks, he looks like he's been run over. Let's see here. Okay, can I go up there? Okay, so I can go up here. Oh, okay. So here, I have to kind of, almost like in Donkey Kong Jr., when you're going across those vines. Ooh. But you don't want to get hit like I just did. Okay. So you gotta climb up. Whoa! And you don't jump. Okay. Slowly running out of men. This isn't good. Okay, so I'm gonna go up there. Duck. And run. Duck. And then jump. Now you gotta be quick. But when I get over here, I think I have to duck. I'm just gonna run. I think I have to duck. That was just luck, okay? That was pure luck. Now I just need to, like, wait and then go to the right and then drop. And probably duck too. Okay. So at this point I just have to, like, climb up as fast as possible, or... Whoa, that was close. Whew! Ah, this is the end. See, I didn't make it this far when I did my video. So now you killed the guy. And this is the last level. Just says congratulations, 1 up, blah blah blah. Again, I don't know if this is following a movie or not. I'm not really skilled on all the Bruce Lee movies. I probably only watched, like, parts of some of the movies, like Enter the Dragon. And then it starts over again, but I think there's some things that have changed. Now, when you have a second player, or you can actually have, well, he's much harder. You can actually have a second player to actually control those guys. Not like a player 2, but actually have, say, a friend use the player 2 joystick. And in the beginning, it actually gives you an option to allow the second player, essentially the player 2 joystick, to control those people. And so it kind of makes it like your friend is against you. Wow, he's much tougher now that I've beaten him once. He's like no remorse. He's just kicking the crap out of me. Now let's just go over here. I only have 1 life. Oh, well, I think it goes down to 0, so I think I have 2 lives. Lives. I'll let him fall down there. Ouch. Ouch. Jeez. He's just beating the crap out of me. It's funny, like, this is like nowhere near something like Mortal Kombat, but you still get your butt handed to you. Uh-oh. I'm just at this point running as fast as I can. As long as you kick first, you pretty much get him. He materialized pretty quickly there, too. Yeah. And that's the end of that one. Anyways, yeah, that was Bruce Lee on the Commodore 64. Yeah, like I said, in the in the beginning you get these options: 1-player game, 2-player game, and then this is where I was mentioning with the F5, you can change it where the opponent could control the samurai. I don't know if he controls both of them or just the sumo or just a ninja. I can't remember, but you actually can do that if you want to play that way, and then obviously beginning the game. Anyways, yeah, that was just me playing some Bruce Lee, just to have some fun, just to take a break from my typical let's do Zelda. But I do want to continue my Zelda game because, and actually I just bought my Zelda shirt. I don't know if you can see that, but that's my Zelda shirt. And I guess because I've been playing a lot of Zelda lately, I wanted to buy a Zelda shirt. And so I'll be continuing on with Zelda 2, and at some point I want to go back and do Zelda 1 second quest. I don't know how well I will do. I don't know if I'll remember where anything is, but whatever. It'll be fun. It'll be a challenge. Anyways, thanks for everybody joining in. Thanks for the people who came into the chat. We had Geeky Zombie King, Jacob Downey. Who else do we have in there? Dozer Bed. I know it's a bit late. It's Wednesday, so I'm pretty tired, and yeah, time for bed. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be ending the chat and the stream right now.